We yeah, so yesterday I started up Arkham City.
I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I saw, and I was like, really? First of all, great choice of not thumbnail of box art.
Yeah,
For
yes.
that
Yep.
announcement.
That's one of the
ugliest
one
box
of the
art to
one of the
ever
only
exist.
things I knew about this game for years is I can't believe that's real. That box art is
It's
real.
the worst one ever. And it wasn't a good box art before all that shit either.
And no, I just remember the white high contrast, thing beforehand. But like also when you're looking up that particular game of the year 10 on 10 Arkham City box art, you're getting different versions, including one with the fucking Harley Quinn extra side story little thing, Dante from the DMC. Like, it's so obnoxious.
Which one of these is real? I can't even tell.
Crazy. That game really represents like so much of the industry at that time.
It was the 7th genest video game of all.
Right? 2011.
And it is excellent.
2011, deep in. For a lot of people, it's the beginning of for a bunch of people listening to this, it's their first game that they played to completion, I'm sure. There's a number of people that are like, they got their Xbox 360s and then jumped on that. Not even on Asylum, mind you. A lot of people's first experience with Chivos.
Yes.
Going hard on Chivos.
And the Riddler.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can feel that going into it. And and I definitely lots of fun speculation on why now. Is this a spite through, or is this a pick based on me checking out Absolute Batman? And the answer is this has been on the slate for a while. I've been meaning to come back to this pretty much right around now. I was waiting for an excuse after the next thing.
Night is like not mandatory, but like City kind of is.
So what everyone seems to talk about is like you start the series so that you can play City, and then Origins is what I ever get from everybody.
Origins has issues, and the issues is that it's like kind of buggy.
Okay. I mean, I know that I'm traveling back in time when I'm playing these games.
And Night is there if you're like, need some more. Don't care if it's not quite as good as the others. Need more of it.
Gotcha. Okay. So, I mean, all in all, just, one session going in, I can definitely see that, even though, so one thing I remember this game in the office, and all I remember is Batman flying through the city, right? Just zipping lining around and doing his thing.
Which is an optional thing, which is crazy.
Oh, the fact that you don't have to get those upgrades?
Yeah, the upgrades for like to go from like flying pretty good to like flying.
Yeah.
That's like a side mission. You don't need that.
Interesting. So I just remember seeing a bunch of that when people were testing it in the office, and it was like always like, oh yeah, this is a cool thing where your answer to cool Spider-Man 2 swinging is to have fun traversal through the city of Gotham as well, whereas Arkham Asylum was a smaller environment and more linear. This is an open thing. It's just funny because it's like it's fun to move around and fly and do all that stuff. It's not what Batman does. Like
it is when you see him grapple away and then you never see him do any. That's what he's doing. He's flying around.
But then he gets in the car or the jet or some other vehicle and books it. Like he doesn't actually spend like Spider-Man is swinging throughout the city.
You're completely right, and that's why they added the car to Arkham Knight, and the overwhelming response to that was like, "Fuck, go back."
Yeah, so it's cool and it's fun to do, but it's definitely like he's not going halfway across the city just doing gliding and grappling. Like he is getting in vehicles.
My Batman is,
but it's cool though.
It is cool though. I really, man, Arkham City starts off really well. I like that. Like the very first like real thing is like, you want to fight like 50 guys. Like they drive you to that courthouse. Like, no, you're gonna learn right the fuck now. You're gonna fight like 50 guys.
Yeah, and it is interesting because this is what I can say is with the combat here is that like I think I'm definitely getting it a bit more. There's still some proper full-on super comboing to learn and stuff, but with the basic hit and everything going on, I have a better understanding of it now.
Oh, I'm so sorry for hitting that microphone, everybody. So sorry about that. I'm moving this dog around in my bosom.
And I can see that the whole like it's got the whole snappiness thing to it, which is the exact opposite of like free form loose combat in like full control systems or in different games and stuff. But I can see that like what they're going for is and I towards the end of Asylum, I think I started to understand a little bit more, but like what I can fully get now is that what they're going for is Batman is not panicking in a room full of enemies. He's calm and collected, and it's
chill, man.
And so you're not mashing and going crazy. You're actually calmly dealing with the situations and perfectly timing things to be one after the other threat annihilated. Almost like concentration meter kind of way. It's it's like be calm in the middle of this overwhelming situation, which is the Batman thing to do.
Hey, I want to say something about. So we the family actually watched a little bit of your LP the other day when you were in the church.
Oh,
with Harley. First of all, this is like the most Woolie thing ever. Did not know those guards had that much dialogue.
Yeah, they kept yapping.
Like,
it was crazy.
It really shows off like the difference between me and you because the frame that Y button appears on the screen. Bah! And oh wow, they have like multiple minutes of dialogue.
And I saw people going question mark, Woolie, are you there? What are you doing? Hello? And I'm like, there's content here. This is great. There's lots of talking all over the place with the bat, the boss.
The second of which is that you got during that sequence, you got a hi Uncle Woolie.
Hey.
From Domain. And then he also went, hi, Batman, which, okay, cool.
Cool.
But then I want to say I'm very proud of you, Woolie, because you fought off the temptation that I'm sure was very strong because those games have an arcade mode that you can just go in and just play fucking 15 hours of the combat with fucking no sex. So I skimmed back to the courthouse fight and I'm like, I wonder if Woolie's going to be super good at this combat. No, he's normal good. He did not take the coward's way out and walk in just like, yeah, I'm just super good at this. I'm so excellent. A+ at the Arkham City combat.
Oh, by super labbing for the last 2 years?
Yeah. I'm just really good at it. I was just really good at it. Like, no, it's like it just clicked.
Yeah.
It just clicked. Like, cause you could do that fight with like an 87 combo multiplier.
Yeah, okay.
And like, yeah, I guess I really just fell into it.
Right.
And that temptation would be high.
Yeah. No, what I wanted to know was what I didn't get the first time around, which was just like, is it is like there's the whole like it's a rhythm game comment or whatever and stuff and all that, but that part aside, what the idea of just kind of like there's the comparison initially, whatever, we don't have to go fully into it, but like when it gets compared to like Tsushima, Spider-Man, or Assassin's Creed and stuff, is that like in those games, like
there's no timing element at all.
No, there isn't, and it doesn't also lock your skills behind your high combo count. So like it does let you kind of just mash to your heart's content until the next thing you want to do is possible. Like a dude's coming at you and you're doing one thing and you're like, oh, just mash the counter and then you're fine. No,
you want to be chill.
Exactly,
you want to be relaxed.
And I would say so what I would say is that like this is the first time I've encountered this type of combat in anything I've played.
So it's weird is that you have, but since it's the first one, you actually played all the like spin-off variations that were like, nah, let's get rid of the timed presses or this or that or there's a particular like enemy counter in Arkham City that is never been repeated in any game, and it's because it's weird.
Interesting, because like I'm also thinking because Dead as Disco has come up as like I played the demo for that the other day, and that's like full on musical rhythm to it, and you're not actually doing music note hitting in Arkham.
Yeah.
But also in Dead as Disco, maybe. So yeah, there's the note chart element of it. There's a couple of elements of mashing to it, but I would still say that like this one where it's like it's not actually rhythm. There's just a timing to things that you have to kind of internalize.
Yeah, because like Batman will travel different distances depending on who you're aiming at. And it's actually just like throw down your next punch as soon as your current punch connects. And so the timing's going to vary between every single attack.
Exactly. And furthermore, you can mash in Dead as Disco. And any game where you can mash is automatically not like this. You know, this is the first.
I think ironically enough, the game that's like the most similar to like Batman combat in style is like Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Because Hi-Fi Rush actually does have like the timing thing and the way that the dodges work on the beat.
And when the combo gets dropped, you can't do as much. 100%. There is a more similar thing to that. But yeah, any game that's like a superhero type of game where you're one versus a crowd and you're snapping to your enemies, that's a surface level comparison, but it's not getting into the ins and outs of like what I was expecting versus what I got. Looking at it now. What I can say, and I mean that's the same mistake, of course, that like after playing Spider-Man, for example, like going into the first Asylum, trying to do stuff like that, like I was like, oh, it doesn't work that way. What I still need to get a better grapple on is the detective mode stuff, because like
it's so funny. The detective mode shit in those games is so funny because they wildly overdid it in the first game by making it like the best thing to keep on all the time. And every single game is their attempt to like, okay, let's figure out how to get them to turn it the fuck off sometimes.
No, I don't mean the vision. Sorry, I mean the encounters, the stealth encounters, right?
Oh yeah.
Detective vision
way harder than just fucking fighting a bunch of dudes.
Yeah. So detective vision, in my heart, I want to leave it on a lot to see the threats and make sure I can avoid them as much as possible.
It's better. It's better.
But I remember how much people hated the fact that I kept it on that much. So I'm like trying to remember to turn it off more.
If you're not playing, it looks like visual garbage.
I can imagine. It was something where like whenever there's a like highlight the threats better mode, I'm like, great, this helps me not get caught as much and do a better job of it, a lot of things. But yes, it is something that I remember getting complaints about, so I'm keeping that in mind.
It's a problem that you saw. Like I saw like 50. I played almost every game that had fucking detective mode in that era, and like every single one tried a different thing of like, hey, this makes the game look like shit, but you're stronger. Like you're objectively stronger. Yeah. So like you ended up getting things like Witcher 3, which like zooms the camera in and slows Geralt to like a walk speed, and you have to hold the button. Like just anything to make sure people don't
use it the whole time. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the Predator missions or Predator encounters, those are the ones where it's like, okay, so yeah, you go up, you jump over to the first person, and then you string them up, almost like a Spider-Man type of thing, when you're undetected. But then after that, the temptation to be like, and now I'm gonna take that guy down and then beat the guy next to him. It's like, no, you can't do that. Like you drop on one dude, that guy's gonna start shooting you because they all have guns, and also one drop is not enough to take a dude down permanently. So all you do is set your alert off, and so that's where I'm still trying to figure out, like, I know that like sometimes you have setups where you can drop under the cage or go behind the wood, for example. After that first tutorial, I haven't seen any other like pull the dude through the wall things.
They basically every time you get like a new gadget, they'll have a moment of like, check out what you can do with this new gadget. And then every now and then you'll have like a boss fight that's like essentially a test of the new ways you can use your new thing.
And so like the other thing to do is experiment with like, can I throw batarangs for noise and then they'll walk over to it or something? Like, because they group up around the first dude that's hanging, and then you kind of are like, do I just have to wait for your natural pattern to get some more vulnerable? So I'm still feeling out the fastest ways and most efficient ways to take on those encounters. And I guess the other thing too is it does feel like some of those initial combat upgrades, like you want, like it doesn't feel like
should have been part of your fucking kit,
your default kit. Like there's stuff there that like you can't really get going until you have it. I can see that now, the bonuses and the free flow stuff.
So it does that a little bit. Like in the first game, I think you had to unlock the takedown.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I feel like you did. And then you start here. And like, I like when you have a series like that, like you think about Kiryu in like Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where like every game, more and more moves become part of the default kit. Like,
Okay.
yeah, he lost, you know,
Yeah.
Tiger Blow, because you can't start the fucking game with that. But, you know.
And there's less explanation, going into the sequel, of course, too. Like nowhere, like you get tutorials for individual moves that you just bought, for example, but at no point in this starting sequence do they actually go, okay, so here's how the combo system works, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You're thrown into it,
It says hit Y to counter, and you go,
yeah.
Okay.
So the whole thing about getting closer to like high combo count and then seeing like, oh, now you're free flowing, you're moving faster, and like I'm starting to see those like red trails on the attacks that are just like going boom, boom, boom for just a second, and choosing when to cash out on your takedown and stuff, is just like part of the experience that you're meant to just figure out, starting to see that though. That's cool. Overall, I will say that like for that whole you're Batman in the middle of a room full of enemies, you're supposed to be calm thing. That's why that works, like lore wise for the gameplay. In most other cases, I prefer like a completely open, free form action scenario. But like because it's Batman, I get like why this works.
Yeah, that combat system was built around like the fantasy of being Batman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And seeing it picked up for a bunch of games that don't feature Batman is really funny.
Well, again, like Spider-Man can just flail and web and go nuts on people.
Spider-Man's like a really good example because you have to do that, but you also have to make him like 3 times as fast because he's fucking Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man? Yes. Yeah. So that's cool. We'll continue there. Fucking sucks that every single element of those Arkham games as a whole, music-wise, is poison for LPing. The first time around, that whole thing, like Min had to try to work on how to get the music out. This time around, it's just like, all right, it is what it is.
I looked into it and then I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to spend as much time doing this as recording the fucking thing. I might as well just blow through it and just move on.
Trying out, there's a feature that is remove audio, remove not mute, but remove music. That's on YouTube. Testing it out. I'll see what the results are there.
I'm sure it works really well.
The preview seemed like it was working, so I'm gonna commit those changes and see what happens. But yeah, otherwise you basically get these like instant demonetized for the whole Arkham series. Fucking sucks.
Goody.
Okay.
By some guy, I'm sure. Some guy owns this track, courtesy of some bullshit.
Every time.